Hey, this is Chris. Welcome back to the tutorial studio. Today we are going to be looking at using the Vlookup function in Excel using Star Wars data. Stay tuned. So let's get straight into it. So first of all, we have got the Star Wars data here. So first of all, I'm just going to format this a little bit, put everything to left justified and expand the columns. I'll just make the headings bold. So Vlookup. Let's take the name. In fact, I'll show you a little trick. So if you click on name and you want to highlight that entire column, but only down to a blank or the final cell, if you hit Shift and Control at the same time and keep them pressed, and then the down arrow, it goes down to the bottom there. So we're going to copy that, Control and C. Let's try that again. Control and C. We're going to paste it into here. And now we can use the Vlookup to find out what we want to bring back from this sheet. So let's pretend you've got a couple of data sets. One has, let's put that there. One just has the name. That could be a product code. It could be a supplier. It could be a reference for something. It could be a football player. Anything really in there that you want to use the Vlookup against this sheet to bring back. Not all of the data, but specific data. So let's bring back their species. So to do that, in this cell here, we start with equals and then type Vlookup. Open bracket, the lookup value. So we want to look up Luke Skywalker. So that's A2. Then we hit comma. The table array is the data that we want to look at to bring back. So the table array, we start there, highlight that and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did we say homeworld? We did. 9, 10. So the 10th column. Homeworld is the 10th column. Let go of that. So that's highlighted that. Now this is quite important. If you hit F4, it keeps, when you move down on sheet 1, it keeps these constant and it doesn't force it all down. So if you press F4, it should put dollar signs around the A and the J. There we go. If for some reason F4 doesn't work, just put a dollar symbol before the A and before the J. Now we look up the column index number, which we know is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for homeworld. So comma 10, that's what we want to bring back. And then either 1 or 0 for a true approximate match or false exact match. So true is 1 for an approximate match, false is 0. That's binary, true or false, 1 or 0, exact match. So I always go comma 0. So, and then we just close it off with an end bracket or parentheses. So equals Vlookup A2 from sheet 1, which is Luke Skywalker. And then we want to look up against the Star Wars Rio export on this sheet. Highlighted all those up until Homeworld. We could have highlighted all of it because it knows from the number 10 that it's the 10th column that we want to bring back. Comma 0 means only an exact match. So if that said Luke Skywalker with a space at the end, or it was spelt slightly differently and you did 0 an exact match, it'd come back with an error. But if we just hit enter, we can see that Luke Skywalker's homeworld, let's just put that in there as well, is Tatooine. Now we can double check that. Luke Skywalker's homeworld, and if you're a bit of a Star Wars nerd like me, you'll know it was Tatooine anyway, is indeed Tatooine. Now what we can do, because we clicked F4 to keep this part of the formula constant, it will when we drag this down, it will look up for each of the names, but it won't drag the array down on here. So we could either drag it down or double click. Let's double click. Yoda's got a 0. Let's check Yoda out. Yoda, he doesn't have a homeworld, that's why. So that's brought back a 0. IG88, let's check that. Doesn't have a homeworld, that's why it's 0. So there you brought back the 10th column, which matches the name from the Star Wars Rio export tab in Excel. Now, if you wanted to change that to birth year or species, would be a good example because that's one after we went to, so that's number 11. So we would have to change this slightly. Instead of J, the next column would be K. Now just to demonstrate how, because it's still got 10 in there, it's still going to bring back homeworld, even though we've changed it to AK. That's fine. So what we want to do is change that to 11 because that's the 11th column. And that's going to bring back their species. Luke Skywalker's a human. C-3PO definitely is not, so I'm guessing that's going to say droid. Yep, R2-D2 droid. Darth Vader's arguably a human. Princess Leia, Owen Lars, etc., etc. Jack Tono Hawkins. Jack Tono Hawkins doesn't have a species. Now what you can also do is do that multiple times. Copy that, press escape, paste it in here. You'll get exactly the same thing because it's doing exactly the same thing. It's looking at Luke Skywalker from A to K and 11. But let's see what films then. Should we use films? What else have we got here? Starships, vehicles. Yeah, let's see what films have been in. So, films, the title doesn't matter. It's just so we know what it is. So, films, that was 11, so that's 12, and it's column L. So we simply change that to column L, and we change that to 12. And they're the films that Luke Skywalker has been in. Double click to drag it down, and there's all the films that each of those names have been in. So, to summarize, we're using Vlookup to bring back certain elements from a different sheet with this syntax equals Vlookup. Would help if I spelt it correctly. Vlookup open bracket, the lookup value, what do we want to match? What do we want to look up against? Luke Skywalker, comma, hit the other tab. Now this time we're going to do every column. Hit that all important F4 to keep it constant. And then let's bring back height. So comma, because that's the second column, comma 2. And then for an exact match, comma 0. Close it off with the parentheses, hit enter, and there's Luke Skywalker's height. Double click to drag it down, and there's height for everything. So there is how to use the Vlookup function in Excel using the Star Wars dataset. Please like the video if you like the video. It'd be great for my channel if you could subscribe and get notifications. Please feel free to comment in the comment section with anything about the video, or if you want to request anything about Excel, anything more about VLOOKUPs, any problems you're having with VLOOKUPs, or anything specific at all, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can and try and make a tutorial video for that. Thanks for watching. Take care.